Is the hype real? Can Andrew Jacked, with his recent 2024 Texas Pro version, challenge the Olympia winning physique of Derek Lunsford from last year? This will be a traditional Supersetman side-by-side footage comparison between these two versions for all 8 mandatory poses. If you want to see the Blitz version of this comparison, meaning a fast analysis skipping the details, make sure you check out my second channel, Supersetman Blitz Matchups, or my Instagram. I post daily Blitz matchups on both platforms, which have become very popular and engaging. Find links in the description or the pinned comment. Front double biceps. Now, this is a real case of apples versus oranges. I don't think it can get any more different than this, so the final decision will be quite subjective in the end. So let's see what we've got here. On one side, we have Derek Lunsford with the craziest V-taper since Brian Buchanan. And I know you guys love to hate on Derek since he won. It's simply human nature. You all wanted to see him on top after the 2022 Olympia when he shocked everyone with his open debut physique, and after he won, you guys turned on him, but I digress. The fact is that this look is quite underrated nowadays. We won't be seeing anything like this other than Derek. On the other side, we have Andrew Jacked with his superhero look. To quote William, one of my followers on Instagram, Andrew has the advantage of being a much bigger man than Derek, and he also has the better arms in this pose. I'm sure most of you won't see this as close, but I think we can all agree that Andrew Jacked is winning this pose in the end. The front lat spread is next, and before we continue, let's acknowledge the fact that Andrew benefits from much better video quality. As for the pose itself, we have the best front lat spread in the world in Andrew Jacked against a rather underwhelming display from your current Meister Olympia. It's such a shame for him not to be able to capitalize on this pose where the V-taper is crucial, and we all know he has the best V-taper in the world. Derek's problem is his weak chest, at least in this pose, and his short arms that cover his lats. This pose goes to Andrew Jacked. The side chest is next, and I have a feeling this is going to be controversial because I have Derek winning this one. Before you dislike the video and unsubscribe, just hear me out. Indeed, Andrew may win the chest department, but Derek is fuller and rounder through the arms and shoulders, and neither of them presents muscle details and striations in the upper body. I say upper body because in the lower body, Derek has arguably one of the best side legs of all time. This is almost reminiscent of Big Ramy, but on a much smaller scale, of course, so these are the reasons I believe Derek actually has the upper hand over Andrew in the side chest pose. Back double biceps. This is the pose that even Derek's biggest haters admit Derek can't lose. At least that's what I hope. But I want to emphasize the progress of Andrew in his back development. He doesn't look all that bad next to the best back in the world, does he? Not at all, if you ask me. Now, an untrained eye might think Andrew is bigger overall, so he should win. But Derek wins this hands down, both upper body and lower body. It's not even a question. 76% of you who have been watching my videos regularly for the past year are not subscribed. I'm aiming for that 30k subs milestone, so if you enjoy my content and appreciate my work, consider subscribing, it's much appreciated. Now, the back lat spread is a little more interesting. Andrew improved in both back poses, but especially in this one. He gained a ton of muscle thickness on his back in this past off-season, and considering this is Derek's weaker back pose, the differences are much smaller here. I'm pretty sure there will be people giving this one to Andrew, but I think that would be a stretch. I can see the controversy in the upper body maybe, but in the lower body, Derek seals the deal with those crazy deep striated glutes. Yeah, I know, this is not the glute spread pose, but I just said the upper body is very close, so the lower body is definitely a tiebreaker if you think that. Personally, I believe Derek is winning the upper body as well. The side triceps is a tough call. When Andrew holds this conventional stance, it's pretty obvious he's not winning, but there are people who believe this variation matters. And I understand the reasoning. Based on this look, Andrew may have the best side triceps pose in the world, but risking sounding like a broken record, that's actually a front triceps execution that cannot be taken into account. Andrew clearly tries to hide his weaker side leg and showcase his front quad and midsection more with this second execution, which is okay for an individual routine, but not for a side triceps execution during the compulsories. Derek has a nice execution with decent triceps and a world-class lower body, and he wins the pose in my opinion. Abs and thighs, and you Derek haters were waiting for this pose. Of course, Andrew Jacked wins the pose. Andrew would even beat Hadi Choopan in this pose if you ask me, and we all know Hadi destroys Derek in this pose. Yes, Derek's vacuum is impressive, but when he shows his abs, he doesn't impress too much, and he also lacks a world-class quad sweep. Andrew wins this pose easily, I would say. The most muscular is the pose that will decide this comparison in the end. The score is 4-3 for Derek currently, so if Andrew ties the score, he has a pretty good argument to win the whole comparison. So what have we got here? We have a smaller but thicker bodybuilder in Derek Lunsford who lacks details and separation against a bigger bodybuilder who actually looks quite skinny in this pose due to his long and thin arms, but Andrew presents some better muscle separation through the core. This is arguably the weakest pose for both, so it's ironic that it could decide the fate of the comparison. If you ask me, this can be judged as a tie. However, I would still give the slightest advantage to Derek. This pose should actually be about the more muscular bodybuilder, and despite Andrew being bigger here, pound for pound Derek is the thicker and more well-rounded bodybuilder. In conclusion, Andrew won his 3 front poses in the front double, front lat and abs and thighs. He can also win the most muscular against Derek if he finds a proper variation that suits him best and sticks with that. From the back, he cannot challenge a guy like Derek, but he can improve from the side, especially in that side triceps. So yes, Andrew Jack definitely has the ability to be Mr. Olympia after seeing this video, and against Derek, he has the advantage of being more detailed from the front and even from the side in the upper body, so you never know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video for the algorithm and subscribe for more videos like this.